Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video on PrizePicks. We've got Thursday night football plays in this video, but first up, do me a solid, drop a like on this video. We've been killing it with the like goals recently. I really do appreciate you guys. And now let's talk about let's talk about the recap from the day before. We're going to get into all the plays, but one thing that I do on this channel every single day is recap the previous day. So one of the free play locks I gave out, this was on the winnable. I'm telling you guys, I'm giving out free plays on the winnable every single day. And you guys can get bonus free plays. Just type in that link that's up there, or just hit the first link in the description. You'll head over to this page and then sign up for the free plan. There's a ton of VIP packages, but all I'm asking you guys to do is sign up for the free plan. You're not going to regret it. You literally get one play a day from me. Bonus play for completely free, and I've been starting to track it the last few days. I put it on this spreadsheet. We hit Mac Jones on Sunday, Seahawks minus 2.5 on Monday. Barely missed out on this one because of the double overtime, and then Jazz team total on the over. I told you guys people are sleeping on the Utah Jazz. They ended up winning this game outright, and I think they put up over 225 points. So an absolutely huge win right there. Another free play that we cashed. And by the way, guys, the VIP is up 49 units in the month of October. 49 units, and we've only been through 22 days. We still have a whole more week to go. I think we can hit that goal of 60 units in a single month. Absolutely insane stuff. And what is a unit? A unit basically means how much you put on each play. So if you're a $100 bettor, if you put $100 on each play and you're profiting almost 50 units, that means you're profiting almost $5,000 in a single month. Absolutely nuts. But let's talk about the first play of the day. It is going to be Ladd McConkey on the under. So I'm actually fading Ladd in this game. There's a lot of reasons behind this one, but honestly, the Chargers just have way too many good receivers. And this is not something I think anybody thought people were going to say. Going into the season, we all thought it was going to be Ladd McConkey, number one guy, right? Keenan Allen's getting kind of old. He wasn't even on the Chargers for a while until the end of the summer. Quentin Johnson, everybody thought we knew what he was, which was an absolute bust. And then you see a couple of these other guys who are popping up now. Oronde Gadsden, nobody was saying this man's name at the beginning of the season, but now his prop is up at 42.5 because he had an absolutely insane game. 9 targets, 7 catches, 164 yards last week against Indy, right? In this case, Ladd is still the player who's projected to get the highest amount of receiving yards, but if you add up all these, it's almost 200 receiving yards that they're accounting for amongst these 4 players. Basically, what the lines are saying is, we don't really know where the yards are going to go, but they've got to go somewhere, right? I am projecting they're not going to go to Ladd. He, of all these 4 players, it's crazy to say this right now, but it's the truth because of how he's been playing the last couple months. He is the player who is least likely to break out in this game. Gadsden just popped off. He could have another huge game. Quentin Johnson goes deep so often. He could catch 2 deep balls, 2 touchdowns, and have an absolutely electric game. Keenan Allen also just popped off for 119 yards, 14 targets, 11 receptions. He is clearly Justin Herbert's favorite target. And then you see Ladd McConkey, he's just kind of there, right? He also had 15 targets, 9 receptions that last game. And then before, 9 targets, 7 receptions. But you look before that, he's not getting a bunch of, green bars, I would say, in this last little stretch, right? Everybody obviously went over last game because that was a shootout. But I love Ladd McConkey on the under in this game. It's really tough to take a star player on the under, but at the end of the day, those are sometimes the kind of plays that are going to separate you from a casual bettor, and we all know a casual bettor is a losing bettor. That's exactly what the sportsbooks want you to do, is just make casual plays go, well, I think Ladd's one of my favorite players. I'm just going to go ahead and take him on the over because it'll be fun to watch the game tonight with a little bit of money on it. That's what most people are thinking. That's what most people are doing, right? What you have to do if you want to be better than that, because you're watching this video, I know you guys want to make money on sports. 100%, you're already ahead of the rest of the game. Because you guys are watching this video, you know that sometimes the right play is not always the most fun play. Taking Ladd McConkey on the over and hoping he gets 20 targets and 15 catches is not the most fun play, right? Taking him on the under is not the most fun play, but it's something that we have to do in this game. So I like Ladd on the under, and like I say, guys, every single one of these plays could go wrong. Ladd McConkey could pop off and have 200 yards in this game, and I could look like an absolute idiot. But the point is, over the long term, we are profitable bettors using these statistics that we use, using all the metrics that I employ in order to give you guys VIP picks. That's why I prove to you guys at the beginning of every video that we're profitable over the long term, so you guys know you can actually trust me, right? This is 49 units brought in 22 days. We know what we're doing. Over the long span of things, we will profit. If you just scope into one single play and say maybe Lad misses tonight, you're not going to go anywhere, right? You're not going to get anywhere. Go ahead, find some other YouTuber who's betting minus 1,000 parlays and take it from him because he probably never loses, right? If that's your type, go ahead. This channel isn't for you. But right now, we're taking Lad McConkey on the under because it's a statistics-based play. I expect Justin Herbert to have a good game in this one, but if he does, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, or Rondé Gadsden, that's where his yards are likely going to be going, especially because even when Lad has been given targets recently, he doesn't really explode, right? But let's get into play 2. We're going with Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason to get a touchdown. This one's very simple. This one, I think we're actually getting this at plus money. So this is at plus 105. Don't say I just give you guys minus money plays. You can get this at plus 130 if you go to the right side. This is why you look at this. Sleeper, not the place to take it. You get minus 103, but most people use Sleeper for parlays. I understand why a straight pick obviously doesn't have great odds. FanDuel, you're getting plus 120. Sportsbet, you're getting plus 130. So a lot of great places you can take this play. And it's a plus money play. Let me explain why we want it. The Chargers defense, pass defense, is basically the most mid defense you could look at. They're middle of the board in every single statistic. They're just all right. Nothing great, nothing bad. But their run defense is pretty weak. The run defense right here, you can't really see it on the stats. It doesn't exactly pop out to you. But their defensive rank, don't play that much man. Defensive rank on zone is a little bit more. But honestly, it's not that great. If you watch the games, you will see they end up giving up quite a few touchdowns. And I'm going to show you guys. Let's zoom in right here. This is not a great... I love this site for the stats that it gives, but I don't exactly love this one because it's showing you guys not just the starting running back, how many touchdowns he got, but it's also showing you the backup and it's factoring that in just as equivalently. But we're just going to parse through it real quick and check out how have starting running backs done against the Chargers. Have they gotten a touchdown, right? So Jonathan Taylor, he actually got 3. Devon Achane, he actually got 2. Ja'Cory Cross-Moret, he also got 2. J.K. Dobbins, he got 1. Cam Scatterbo, I missed him. Cam Scatterbo did not get any. Ashton Jenkins, this is towards the beginning of the year. Ashton Jenkins didn't get any, right? But in the last few weeks, the Chargers defense has been giving up a ridiculous amount of rushing touchdowns. John Taylor got 3. Devon Achane got 2. And then just a week before that, Ja'Cory Cross-Moret got 2. So that's 7 touchdowns among the last 3 RB1s to face up against them. And Jordan Mason is no slouch. He's hit this line in 2 of his last 2 games. He had 1 miss against the Steelers, and then he had 2 touchdowns against the Bengals in that pop-off game. The reason he didn't have much production here is because Aaron Jones was still a major part of the offense back then. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. Jordan Mason's the clear number 1 guy. I like him to get a touchdown in this game. I don't understand why we're getting this at plus money. I absolutely love this play. But I'm going to talk about something now real quick, which is how you guys can get free VIP. So I just recently dropped this promo. You can get a free week of VIP. All you have to do is sign up on Sleeper or on Chalkboard with code BAM. Also, sign up on Underdog with code BAM. I will give you guys a free week of VIP. So I'm giving you guys as much options as I can. I want every single one of you to be able to get on the VIP and experience this insane streak that we've been on. 50 units in 20 days. That's absolutely insane. Nobody else on YouTube is doing this, right? You guys can get that for free an entire week. All you have to do is sign up on Sleeper or sign up on Chalkboard with code BAM. And if you're in any of these purple or green colored states, you are eligible for this promo. So if you're already on Sleeper or Chalkboard, get your brother, your mom, your dad, your sister, your girlfriend, whoever it is, just get them on Sleeper or Chalkboard. It'll literally take them 5 minutes and then text me, and then you guys can pay them back after you come up big in a free week of VIP once you profit an absolute ton. Text me at this number. Once you guys are done with that, I'll get you on the free week. Now, let's hop into play number 3. It's TJ Hawkinson. And by the way, guys, after we do this, I'm going to give you guys some NBA plays too. We're not exactly done yet. But TJ Hawkinson on the over at 33.5. This is one where you just got to look at where's really the public eye looking in this one. What might the Vikings really look to attack this Chargers defense with? We all know the Vikings are stronger in the passing game than the running game, right? Any Justin Jefferson-led team, that's going to be the case. So Justin Jefferson's line is up over 80 yards. He actually missed this against Philly, but he's had great games recently. Browns, Steelers are great examples of that. Jordan Addison was the player who popped off last week. 12 targets, 9 receptions, and 128 receiving yards. Huge game, right? But who's quietly been, a major part of the offense every single week since Carson Wentz has been a factor has been TJ Hawkinson. He's clearly Carson Wentz's safety blanket target. Carson Wentz has been in the league for quite a while. Just like all these other older quarterbacks, we know he loves his safety blanket, whether that's the running back or in this case, the tight end. It's the guy who can just get up, get 7-8 yards down the field, turn around and just be a safe target for the quarterback, right? So we're not expecting TJ Hawkinson to blow by this line in one play. He's not really going to get a 35-yard catch. But what we're expecting him to do is similar to this, right? He only got 43 yards in this game, but he got that on 9 targets and 6 receptions, right? So 6 receptions, 43 yards. You're averaging around 7 or 8 yards per catch. That's exactly what we want from Hawk, to just go up there, get a few easy catches, and just make the quarterback really just not have to think about throwing you the ball. That's exactly what TJ Hawkinson does best. And what makes him an even more elite tight end is he can turn upfield with those hips and then get a few extra more yards. Obviously, it's not going to be anything crazy like you see out of George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, or, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, the yards after catch merchants right now. But he's going to go ahead and be able to fall forward, maybe break a tackle for another 5 or 10 yards on the yards after catch. That's good stuff, right? We just need him to get 34 yards in this game. I feel like he could hit this by halftime and nobody would even be surprised. So that's always a good line, and that's always a good sign when you want to, take this play. I really like Hawk on the over 4 yards. Let's take a look at his receptions line. It's sitting at 3.5, but it's at heavily minus money on that. I like it at 3.5. Go ahead and take that if you want a parlay piece. But if you just want to take it at even odds, I would take the receiving yards right there. But we're not just done yet. Let's hop into the NBA because we've got a huge game. It's the rematch of the NBA Finals, except a little bit different, right? We don't got Tyrese Halliburton here, and there's obviously a lot less on the line. It's game 1 for the Pacers, game 2 for the OKC Thunder. But let's just analyze what we saw from the Thunder last game and play accordingly, right? That's exactly what I'm going to be looking to do in this one. And the player we're just going to go straight up to is Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren looked insane in that game against the Houston Rockets. I'm going to show you guys the exact Rockets Thunder. I'm going to show you guys the exact box score what happened in that game, right? 2 overtime, obviously. But Chet Holmgren ends up fouling out in this one. He gets 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 28 points. He had that all in the first, I think he had like 20 points when we were going into the fourth quarter, something like that. He was playing great, right? He was playing great. Shea only took until the first or second overtime until he really stepped up and started playing, at the level that we know he can. So he really was not going to hit this line until the very end of the game. But the player who I'm going to just take those 3 out. The player who I do want to talk about is neither of those guys. It's someone who's even more, I would say, hidden. Someone who's even more hidden, it's Isaiah Hartenstein. And I like Isaiah Hartenstein on the rebound. So I like him on the over at 8.5 rebounds. This line is at 9.5. I'll take him on the over at 8.5, 7.5, whatever it is. It's really just a parlay piece in this one. But in this game, I think they're going to play a lot more double big than they did in that last one, right? The last one, they going up against the Houston Rockets, who had a double big lineup, and they tried to not play the double big. They didn't want to force their double big lineup, their Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein against their Steven Adams, Steven Adams, Alp Sengun, which the Rockets were playing an absolute ton of, right? Obviously, the Rockets are going to play a ton of double big. I'm sorry if this is getting too deep into the theory of it, but you guys can just tell I'm super passionate about this. I study these games before they happen and after they happen, right? Basically, what's happening is the Thunder opted not to play that double big, and they opted to play Jalen Williams at the 5 position a lot. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this Thunder team is using this first couple weeks to try everything possible out, and then they just find the ideal formula for their team. How does that work up against other teams? And then they just spam it for another 50 games until we get to the playoffs. That's exactly what I think this Thunder team is going to do. Right now, this is what good teams do. They don't come into the season already having their identity. They figure out their identity within the first 2 weeks, and then they absolutely craft it down to a masterclass, and then they push that identity again and again and again, craft it until it's impossible to beat. So I'm just going to roll through a couple plays here. I like Hart over on rebounds. And on the other team, I like Nembhard a ton. I think he's going to be great this season. Take him on the over on points. That's all I got for the video. I'll give you guys 5 free plays. I'd appreciate it if you drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one.